You all talk about Far Cry 3, 4, and even those weird spin-offs like Far Cry Primal, but no one ever seems to mention the Jared Leto simulator, Far Cry 5. The game opens up with a few armed officers flying into the countryside of Montana, and our mission brief is to detain a dangerous cult leader by the name of Joseph Seed, who looks like the love child of Jared Leto and Adam Cole.
But I will make them see.
The other officers call our character Rookie, and that's when it dawns on me that they're actually taking a rookie in to detain a cult leader. Talk about being thrown in at the deep end. That's like meeting a girl and having sex with her before first getting the blessing from a vicar. Couldn't be me.
You don't hear from us in 15 minutes, send in everyone. Call the goddamn National Guard if you have to. Over?
The first thing I notice when I step foot off the plane is the absolute stench of BO and incest. I didn't actually know it was possible to smell webbed feet until the helicopter landed. You know what they say in Hope County. Brother, sister, mum, dad, auntie, uncle, cousin? What's the difference? Surprisingly, we went in to capture Joseph Seed very relaxed and keeping our hands off our guns. Which for American police officers, not touching your gun must be like No Nut November. Then again, Joseph Seed is a white male who looks like he's from Portland, so I imagine it's a lot easier for them to not shoot him.
Joseph Seed! I have a warrant issued for your arrest on the suspicion of kidnapping with the intent to harm.
The arrest of Joseph Seed actually goes pretty smoothly, not before he has a massive speech to us all, and it's clearly he's had a few too many peyotes, but we take him outside and everything appears to be going really smoothly. However, you know that feeling that you get when a plan is going really well, that you know that something is just bound to go completely wrong at some point, kinda like when a stranger offers you some candy. Yeah, you get some Haribos for free, but you know you're gonna get fingered later on. Well, that's exactly what happens here. Things are going great, but then all of a sudden it all kinda goes a bit tits up. We get Joseph in the helicopter and his cult boys start jumping on the helicopter to save him. It's annoying, but you've got to respect the dedication. I mean, I hope this is something that my subscribers would do for me if I was ever taken away. Am I trying to build a fan base like PewDiePie's? Nah, I'm trying to build a cult like Joseph Seed, where people would jump on a helicopter for me. After the helicopter crash, Joseph decides to serenade me with his soft singing voice, but I can't help but notice that sick pair of gunner optics he's styling with. Kids these days won't even know that gunner optics was what all the snazziest gamers wore back in the Halo 3 days. If you had a pair of those on, you were 3 times more likely to have the e-girls wanting some of that 5-star general ranked dick. The rest of the crew then wakes up from the helicopter crash, and obviously they decide to kidnap the girl, because women are weak and vulnerable and couldn't possibly defend themselves like us alpha males could. And then, in an attempt to hit you with some of that Far Cry 3 nostalgia, you have to make a break for it into the forest while being shot at by members of the cult. It's kind of strange to see this from the other person's perspective. Usually I'm the one chasing people into the forest.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Rook, I'm sorry.
So we find one of our bodies, and it's looking like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And honestly, I was wishing that he would hold me against the wall for a little bit longer, as that's the closest thing I've come to sex in quite a long time. All was looking peachy. We had armed ourselves up, and we had a little cabin to hide out in for a few minutes. That was until I once again got the scent of webbed feet approaching. In they come, and it was now time to turn from your regular old police officer into a mass murderer. Then again, we are in America, so I guess there's not really much difference between the two. The thing with killing inbred people is that I kill one of them, and I'm taking away a father, son, nephew, brother, and cousin from just one person. While I was mowing down members of the cult, my boy got the truck going, and it was time for us to get out of here. This turns into one long chase, and it becomes pretty clear that they've got the entirety of Hope County on lockdown, as they had roadblocks everywhere and an extremely excessive amount of firepower. We crash into the river and then wash up on shore like some sort of prehistoric sea animal. And because this is a Far Cry game, we then get kidnapped by some random person, and we're left to question, will we be served some nice hot soup in the morning, or will we be delivered the news that we've lost our anal virginity? Either way, it was still better than being captured by Mr. Gunner Optics himself, Joseph Seed. We wake up dizzying with blurred vision and handcuffed to the bed. This hot soup is looking less and less likely by the minute.
You know what that shit means? It means the roads have all been closed. It means the phone lines have been cut. It means there's no signals getting in and out of this valley.
No communication going in or out of Hope Valley. Joseph Seed had taken control of everything, and here we were with a bald patriot trying to create a rebellion to go against Joseph Seed. The first order of business was to make sure that we blended in with the people of Hope County, because right now we were looking more suspicious in our police officer uniform than when you go to a authentic Mexican restaurant and there's just nothing but white dudes in the kitchen. Here's some tips for making it look like your family shags each other. A greasy mullet, camouflage cargo trousers, a dirty American flag tank top, and also a trucker hat which is absolutely covered in your own sweat. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you for... No, actually I don't want to do that joke. It's like the most overused YouTuber joke ever. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's so funny. Exploring the bunker a bit further, and I'm pretty happy with who I've been kidnapped by, because this room just looks like an absolute vibe room. I can imagine spending a good few hours in here with a nice couple of sheets of acid, because the best kidnappers are the ones that you can just vibe with.
Little I can gather is that your partners are alive. Seems they've been split up. Each one handed off to a different member of Joseph's family.
So we now had access to the big wide open world of Far Cry 5, and it was time to start building our resistance. To do so, we needed to do things like save civilians, destroy cult properties, complete missions, and liberate outposts. I mean, the game didn't really need to explain that. It's the Far Cry formula. It's become more predictable at this point than a girl playing the victim after going through a breakup. So that's exactly what I did. I went out there into the world, and because I'm an alpha male, I decided not to use any kind of gun. I was just having a whale of a time, hurling my shovel and baseball bats at people, and then throwing hands with anybody that tried to step up. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend this tactic to everyone that plays this game. You've got to be a real Chad to pull something like this off. When it came to saving civilians, my Chad instincts just took over, and I started throwing down with random people that didn't do anything wrong, making this geezer keel over like he'd just taken one too many E's. But it did make me realise that he wasn't the kind of guy that we needed in this resistance. I mean, he couldn't land a punch to save his life, and he went down like someone with cerebral palsy who's just lost their crutches. With one more outpost in the area to take from Mr. Gunner Optics himself, I went in fist blazing, and we did it with a lot of ease. Not like pills as in like ease, I mean like ease as in like it was easy. I wouldn't mind pills to help the Far Cry journey though. Through my endeavours so far, I've learned that the civilians of Hope County aren't the smartest of people, so I decided instead of recruiting this one to the resistance, we'll just put him out of his misery right here, right now. Don't worry though, we'll knock that evil civilian murdering Joseph Seed off his pedestal soon, and I'll replace him. The next step was to activate a radio tower, fortunately the only radio tower in this Far Cry game, and that then revealed different activities and different people across the map that needed my help. And one of those missions was about a dog, so obviously I'm going to do that one first, because who doesn't love wholesome content? On my way to said doggo, I thought I'd take out a few more cult members to really help boost the morale. Unfortunately though, these weren't cult members and I had no clue. They were just two casual geezers fishing. That really flips the saying, worst day of fishing beats the best day of work on its head, because now the worst day of fishing for them is getting laid out by a boat. I also changed my tactics from blending in with the inbreds to just straight up confusing them, because I met a trader along the way who sold genuine alien technology. So I thought this is an opportunity that I myself cannot pass up. And in what was a rather large lapse of judgment, I whacked the spacesuit on, not considering the absolute blasting heat of the Montana sun shining down upon me, pretty much cooking me alive. But me being a rotisserie chicken aside, it was now time to save the doggo. And well, I decided to abandon my fists and melee only approach, because zapping up people of the cult and watching them just turn to ashes was way more fun. And I was also actually saving their family a decent bit of money. They wouldn't have to get them cremated anymore. All they'd needed to do was come down here with some Tupperware and whack the ashes in. Boom. There you go. So I now had Boomer, a friend for life and someone who would play a massive role when it comes to knocking down Mr. Gunner Optics himself and his family members. And what else would I do with a new dog apart from take the most wholesome pictures that have ever graced the internet? Spaceman and Boomer, companions for life. So if Mr. Gunner Optics wasn't paying attention to me already, I made sure that he had me on his radar with one last task. There was a major outpost that needed to be dealt with, so what better way to send a message than to just go nosediving in there with a crop duster and getting out, blasting everyone in a nearby vicinity. Well, it didn't actually blow up, so things got rather awkward and I just ended up being gunned down. So I think that's where we'll call it a day for today on Far Cry 5. If you do want to see more Far Cry 5, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and also suggest any other game you want to see. Be sure to join the Discord server, link is in the description if you want to go in there. I'm always there saying hello to everyone. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new around here and enjoy the content. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.